Good morning, guys. Got a little bit of a snowstorm setting here locally in Newfoundland today. Actually, most of the province. But the quad here, I need to get it started and get it moved in out of the snow. If I'm doing any heavy grinding, which I've been doing some knife handles lately, I take it out of the shop because it just buries it in dust. I'm working on getting that under control, of course, as you saw in the last video. But the cold here, the vicious cold, has been killing my battery. If I leave it for outside for 2, 3, 4 days without starting it, and it's real cold, then it deadens my battery and she won't quite do it. So that's the problem there now. Just want to start it up. If you leave your battery dead like that in this vicious cold, it will ruin your battery. You might be able to bring it back if you don't leave it. You get it started and charged up right away, but those are just the things that comes with living in a real cold climate. So I'm going to get started here now and see if we can get it charged up. Going back to that preparedness video, I have a booster pack here. And I like to keep it with me. I need a second one though for the quad. But one thing I did, I had one of these burn out on me. It just gave up, so I had another one replaced on warranty. But they come with these big chunky plastic clips. Now these are actually a lot bigger than this, but I ground all that plastic away. So they do come to a little bit more of a point. So I still have these because you have a bigger section of copper in there for energy transfer. But I took the other set from the burnt out ones, cut them off, and put on some of these little small clamps, little small terminal clamps. And that allows me to get into tight spaces like here. When you're dealing with like power sport toys and stuff, the batteries are small, of course. You have these little tiny terminals. So you don't want those big chunky outfits on there. Plug that on, plug this in, and jump start ready. Now that we have the bike charged up, I just went for a little ride there, and a little bit of scooting around, a little bit of playing in the snow. I got some new tires on there too, so I'm getting those sort of broke in. I'm getting a little bit of a wallop in the tires since they're on, so it seemed a little better today, but we'll see. But I'm out in the shop. I have a batch of knives I've been going through for a while, and I'm working on leather work now and just tying up loose ends, final edges, little sharpening notches or whatever, which I don't put in until the very last stage. Right here I have some sheaths I stitched up last night, and I need to figure out which knives they match with and just get a couple things sorted out here. So I took a whole bunch already in the house that are already done, sharpened, ready to go, but I've got some work to do out here. Let me show you guys what knives I have here though. Now the ones I'm about to show you here now, remember, are not completely finished. So they don't have final edges, they're not cleaned up, they're still dusty from sitting in the drawer there and smudgy from handling different oils and stuff. But this is a Sentoku, which I absolutely love. I might have to make an identical one to this once I get the time, which probably won't be for a while. But love this knife. The grind came out so good. It is paper thin at the edge. It's just a beautiful taper. Stabilized spalted maple handle with solid brass pins. It just feels beautiful. I can just imagine this thing now dicing some onions, some peppers. Love it. I have a classic saber grind here with spalted fine line maple burl. They're so smudgy. Don't judge it by the smudges. There's all smudges of oil and steam and everything on there from touching them. But that one is going to go into this sheath, which is already stitched. I have a gorgeous bake apple here I'll show you, but I just wanted to show you this engraving as well. I have a laser engraved sheath here. First and last name, but I'll just show you the last name just so I don't give someone's full name away. But here we have a saber grind bake apple with, this is like an OD green canvas micarta, left with a matte finish, which looks gorgeous, and brass liners. Solid brass pins, forged finish on that blade. Isn't that beautiful? Still have to put a small sharpening notch in this one and finish those bevels. This one is not sharpened yet. Another yellow fox is going out the door. Boy, I love this new pattern. I drew this one up the end of 2019, getting closer to Christmas, and I just love it. I sold quite a few over Christmas, so I can tell that you guys really like them as well. They just flew out the door once I put them up on the website, so really love this. This one's wearing a coyote brown. No, this is an earth brown, and then a stack with a layered micarta as well outside. Forge finish. See, we have that swedge there, which, by the way, is not sharpened. I don't sharpen that swedge. I don't particularly like a sharpened back bevel. That could be done on request. But Scandi grind on this one, and it is already razor sharp. Just needs to be cleaned up. Needs to be polished. A couple more Tuckamore patterns here. This one up here is done with a matte finished micarta, forge finished. You notice this one is modified a little bit. It's a little bit straighter in the tang here, just to make it a little bit different. And it has an extended pommel here, which can be used for a lanyard. It's sharp for a striker. This was requested by the customer. So this is sort of a custom build at this point. We have white liners. Check out that shape. Check out the shape of that handle. Man, that's nice. And this is called red coral canvas micarta, but I would call it like a burgundy. Like a burgundy. It's really rich. Forge finish. This is just stunning in my opinion. You can see there. Nice handle. Feels so good in the hand. And now check out this monster. This is magnificent. This is a custom build. Not the first for this customer. Just beautiful. Love the shape. It's almost getting into like a Nesquik style shape, isn't it? The saber grind there comes down nice and thin, but still rolled in to be nice and durable. Not the final edge on this yet, but beautifully finished flats. We have red liners, and then we have red and black stacked canvas micarta, brass pins. This is left with sort of a textured matte finish as well. It's going in this beautiful, beautiful piece of leather. This is actually the first time I put the knife in there, but you can check out the fit. Oh, that looks so good. Just fits out the perfect amount there for you to grab onto. You see we have name engraved in here again. Now coming out today, this is my build list. Along with finishing some of the sharpening, putting in some of the sharpening choils and whatnot, I also have to build this in leatherwork for the builds to be done. There on the bottom, that's 2 sets of leather for a small 4 sacks, so sheath and collar. We better get to work. So I have the two collars formed, and I always include leather lace for that. So I'll have to cut some of that. The sheaths are mostly formed. All of the sheaths are cut. The welts are cut. They're ready to glue up, but I take that inside to do, so you won't get to see that now. But I have a whole bunch of little small like paper clips. The little black ones with the flip-out tabs that I use with some leather protectors, and I'll glue all these up inside, and then probably tomorrow I'll get at grooving them, cutting for stitches, etc. What I have to do now is the knives that can be finished, I have to finish them up. Well, that concludes what I can do here today. I've sharpened everything I can sharpen, ready to go out with those sharpening notches. The reason I put those sharpening notches in there, some makers don't do it. It's kind of, some people like it, some people don't. I have so many knives come into me where there haven't been sharpening notches. People have worn their edge down past where, like, where the tang of the handle meets, so like that plunge line. They're down past that, and they end up creating this terrible botch recurve. It's kind of hard to explain. I'll throw a picture up of a repair I did a little while ago, which was a Kershaw leak, and this guy actually sent in several of his knives. They were all sharpened the same way. They had gone down past where you can see there the tang, and created this horrible recurve and this torn up plunge line, whereas if you create that little sharpening notch, that brings your edge out past a little bit, and the common guy can easily sharpen, and you'll just sharpen away that notch. That notch will get smaller and smaller, and you won't have to tear up your plunge line and tear up the tang of your knife there. So that's the reason I put that on, but that's all I can do here for right now. I'm going to go inside, get some lunch, glue up all this leather work that I have, and I'll get to that later on, so maybe I'll bring you guys along for that. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. I'm almost through with this batch of knives. I have a few more to begin once this starts, but I am open. I'm taking orders again. Some of you guys might not know. Some of you guys have been emailing in and asking, and I've been taking orders, but this is my first time officially saying that I will accept an order if you decide to put one in. So emails in the description, weederfan.business@gmail.com. If you do want to get in on my build lists, email me and we'll talk it out. We'll build you something real special. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support as always. We'll see you in the next video.